So, what if every single action a student took to make their campus greener could be tracked, verified, and even count towards their degree? Well, that's the really revolutionary idea we're diving into today. It's happening at GVG College for Women, and it's all powered by a digital ecosystem called ECOPOLY. And GVG College for Women, it certainly looks the part. You can see the solar panels, the grounds are lush and green. But as we all know, looking green and actually being verifiably sustainable, well, those are two very different things. And that's where the real challenge kicks in. Which brings us to this question, a question that pretty much every college, university, and even big companies are wrestling with. How do you move past just having good intentions and well-meaning projects and build a system that can actually stand up to scrutiny from auditors and accreditation bodies? It's all about turning those good intentions into results you can prove. So let's break down this problem that GVG College and honestly so many other institutions are trying to solve. Okay, so colleges are under a ton of pressure. They have to prove their green claims, not just talk about them. They have to deal with these really complex accreditation standards like NAC in India. And then on top of all that, they're supposed to be preparing students with ESG skills. That's environmental, social, and governance, which are in super high demand in the job market. The big problem? Most of the time, all their green initiatives are scattered, they're in different departments, hard to track, creating this huge gap between what they say they're doing and what they can actually prove. So how do you bridge that gap? Well, this is where the proposed solution comes into play. So, what exactly is ECOPOLY? The official definition calls it an institution-driven digital ecosystem, but let's cut through the jargon. At its heart, ECOPOLY is one single digital platform that connects three things that are almost always kept separate: a college's sustainability goals, the student's day-to-day academic life, and all those compliance requirements. And this is where it all happens. Think of this as mission control for sustainability on campus. It's not just some other app, it's the central hub where everything, from a student's project to the college's entire carbon footprint, can be tracked and managed. It brings everyone, students, faculty, and the administration, into one single digital space. Here's probably the simplest way to get your head around it. Just imagine a private social network, kind of like Facebook or Instagram, but just for the GVG campus. The only difference is, instead of sharing vacation photos, every post, every event, and every single action is all about building a verifiable record of sustainability. It's basically social media with a real purpose. Okay, so it sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work day to day? Let's get into the mechanics of how this thing is built. The process is surprisingly straightforward, but it's incredibly powerful. It all starts with learning. A student takes a quick module on, let's say, waste reduction. Then they put that knowledge into practice. Maybe they organize a recycling drive on campus. They snap a photo or a video as proof and upload it. A professor or an administrator verifies it, and boom, the system automatically gives them green credits. And here's the real magic. That one little action is now a permanent, time-stamped piece of data that feeds directly into live dashboards for audits. No more scrambling for reports at the last minute. And this isn't just about tracking what people do, it's about building knowledge from the ground up. The platform has this whole learning center with everything from ESG basics to practical guides for accreditation, and even modules on skills that make you more employable. It's all designed to make sure that every action is backed by real understanding. You're creating a campus community that's not just active, but also truly educated on these issues. Now, this next part is where the system gets really powerful. How do you make sure everybody actually participates? Well, you connect it to something students and staff already care a lot about: academic credit. This quote from the proposal, this is the secret sauce. This is what makes the whole thing work. The college can actually make participation mandatory. They can link these verified green credits directly to grades, to co-curricular requirements, or even make them a requirement for graduation. This is a total game changer. It takes sustainability from being a nice-to-have hobby and makes it a core part of the academic journey. It gives these actions real weight. So, how is all of this funded? The model is actually pretty interesting. It proposes a modest contribution of 100 rupees a year from each student. But it's not just a fee. It's framed as their personal investment in the campus's annual ESG budget. It's about giving every student a real, tangible stake in their own community's sustainability. And it's a team effort. The staff and even campus vendors also contribute 250 rupees for their own digital green diary. This shared investment really creates a sense of collective ownership. Everybody is working towards the same vision. All right, let's zoom out for a second and look at the long-term return on this investment. What are the ultimate payoffs for the college and for its students? This slide really lays out the win-win scenario perfectly. For the college, it's huge. They're always ready for an audit, the admin work is way less, they have real-time data right at their fingertips, and they're building a digital asset that will be valuable for years. And for the students, the benefits are just as big. They graduate with a real understanding of ESG, a verified record of everything they've done, leadership experience, and practical skills that will make them stand out in the job market. So really, what ECOPOLY is all about is a fundamental culture shift on campus. It's about moving away from isolated, one-off events like a tree planting day and moving towards a continuous, evidence-based system where sustainability is just woven into the fabric of daily life. It becomes part of how things are done. And that leads us to this final, pretty fascinating question. In a world that increasingly cares about verifiable skills and real-world impact, could a detailed, authenticated digital record of a student's green actions one day become just as important as their academic diploma? It's a question that GVG College is now set to answer, and it's a question that could really reshape the future of education.